is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2.
Yeah!
Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. Death. Washington, Lincoln, or Obama? In the bookstore. Intravenous. USA. And A Nude Awakening. Player 1, you start. Bubonic plague's more descriptive name. Okay, Player 1. You got it. Player 1. The 7 words that complete the speech Patrick Henry gave on March 23, 1775. It's Player 1. Correct. Player 1. HBO comedy starring Jason Schwartzman and Zach Galifianakis. Okay, Player 1. Good for you. Player 1. Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur's rap music record label. Yes, Player 1. That's it. Player 1. It's the title of a famous 1793 painting by Jacques-Louis David. Yes, Player 1. Yes. Player 1, you pick again, please. Was born a British subject. Okay, Player 2. That is correct. All right, let's get the tallest. Okay, Player 1. Right. Where do we begin, Player 1? Never lived in Illinois. Yes, Player 1. Yes. Player 1. Went to Occidental College and Columbia University. Okay, Player 2. Good for you. Player 2. Received a patent. Player 1. That's correct. Player 1, start us. The Teammates by David Halberstam chronicles the friendships of Ted Williams and others on this team. Yes, Player 3. Right you are. Player 3, where do we start? John Grisham switched gears with Skipping This Holiday, about a couple who want to skip the consumerism. Player 1. That is correct. Player 1, start us. The Devil in the White City examines murder, magic, and madness at the 1893 World's Fair in this U.S. city. It's Player 1. Right. We return to you. In a Stephen King book, writer Paul Sheldon is weary of this title heroine he created. It's Player 3. That's it. Player 3? Appropriately, Part 3 of this 1953 novel is Burning Bright. Okay, Player 2. Yes. Where do we begin, Player 2? Venus's surface is hard to view from Earth because it's completely covered by these. Yes, Player 1? Good. Player 1? One of these on Venus lasts about 244 Earth ones. Let's hear it, Player 2. You got it. Player 2. Like Mercury, Venus has this many moons. Okay, Player 2. Yeah. Right you are. Player 2. We're not sure if it was ancient or not, but the first U.S. flyby of Venus was by one of these space probes in 1962. It's Player 1. Yeah! Good. Player 1, make a select. Galileo's finding that Venus goes through these, like the moon, was the first direct evidence for Copernican ideas. Okay, Player 3. That's correct. Player 3, where do we start? The name of the ukulele means flea in the native language of this state, where it was introduced by the Portuguese. It's Player 3. That is correct. Player 3, the state nut of Alabama isn't your kooky cousin, it's this thin-shelled pie ingredient. Yes, Player 2. That's correct. Player 2. Caroling to the animals is a holiday tradition at the Lincoln Park Zoo in this Midwest city. Player 2. Yeah! Correct. Player 2. Its state song says, "Follow the old Kit Carson Trail until desert meets the hills." Yes, Player 3. Yeah, good. Okay, let's get back in. Alphabetically, this southern state's counties run from Adams to Yazoo. Player 1. You got it. Where do we begin, Player 1? In 1953, he produced the first issue of Playboy for $10,000. Player 2. Yeah! Correct. All right, let's get no buts about it. David Caruso, Jimmy Smits, and Dennis Franz all turned the other cheek on this cop show. Player 1. That's correct. Player 1. It's the Daily Double. And you're in the lead now. Decide on your wager, Player 1. All right, here's your clue. Kathleen Turner and Jerry Hall weren't close-minded, playing Mrs. Her in the stage version of The Graduate. Congratulations, you're still in first, Player 1. Player 1, back to you. Trying to escape his teen idol image, this Partridge Family star posed nude for Rolling Stone in 1972. Yes, Player 2. Right. Here's the $1,000 clue for you. His nude descending a staircase, number 2, shocked viewers at the Armory show. Yes, player 3? Correct. Player 3 is going first in the Double Jeopardy round, which starts after this. Clues are worth $400 to $2,000 in these categories. The Sporting Life. Spanning the Globe. What doesn't belong? Ain't We Got Pun? Literary Characters. And Arctic Animals. Player 3, you start us off. You can weigh up to 147 pounds in this boxing class between lightweight and middleweight. Okay, player 1. Right. Player 1, make us. In 1967, Memorial Coliseum in this West Coast city hosted the first Super Bowl. Green Bay beat Kansas City 35-10. Yes, player 3? That's right, way to go! Player 3? In 2006, Massachusetts made this sport, invented there, the official sport of the Commonwealth. Let's hear it, player 3. Good for you! Here's Kelly, she'll show you.
Popular in the British Isles and the Commonwealth, it's the sport being played here.
Yes, player 1? That's it. Where do we begin, player 1? This ABC show debuted April 29, 1961, with Jim McKay as host. Let's hear it, player 2. Hey, you're right. Player 2, you're in command of the board as we continue right now. Haiphong, Cam Ranh, and Dong Hoi are all important cities in this country. Let's hear it, player 2. Woo! That's it. Player 2. At an altitude of 12,000 feet, this Bolivian city is the highest national capital. It's player 3. That is correct. Player 3. Made from fermented cabbage, radishes, red peppers, and spices, kimchi is the national dish of this land. Let's hear it, player 3. Hey, you're right. Player 3. Here's Sarah. She'll show you.
This St. Petersburg Palace is named for the first Russian empress with this name. The second one was said to be great.
Player 2. Yeah. Good. Player 2, you start. Excellent. The first of the 2 daily doubles. You are currently in second place. What'll it be? Answer. This most populous African country's main ethnic groups are the Hausa, Fulani, Igbo, and Yoruba. Good move. And it paid off. Select again. Woodwinds, French horn, bassoon, oboe. Yes, player 1? Correct. A lot of clues. Balkan countries: Albania, Latvia, Croatia. Yes, player 3? Right. Player 3. U.S. Veeps. Charles Curtis, Charles Wellman, Charles Dawes. Player 3. That is correct. Please pick again. The Bible. Moabites, Luddites, Ephraimites. It's player 1. Right. Player 1, start us. British Prime Ministers. Palmerston, Chambers, Gladstone. Okay, player 3. That's it. Where do we begin, player 3? A scholarly paper on punning restaurant names was titled, "Do Drop In" and "This Vegetable Entertain You." Let's hear it, player 1. You got it. All right, let's get back. A presidential exhibit at the National Postal Museum was called "This to the Chief." Okay, player 3. Yes. Player 3. About comparing a pair of Beatles, a punchline in Master and Commander is, "Choose the lesser of two these." Yes, player 3. Good for you. Player 3. 8 months pregnant, Jolie Fisher did a cabaret act entitled "From Here to This." It's player 1. Good for you. Player 1, you're in command of Punning on Glenn Miller. A 1985 film with Gina Davis as a vampire was called "This 65000." Player 1. Yes. Player 1, back to you. Had a whale of a time in 1851. Pequod problems. Call him this narrator. It's player 2. Yep. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 2. Famous foundling. Psychs himself out. Title taught. Okay, player 1. Good. Player 1, you start. Answer. The second daily double. You are in the lead right now. Decide on your wager, player 1. And the clue. LAPI, okay? Chambler's champ slept big, and his goodbye was long. That puts you even further ahead. Please pick again. Time-traveling Dresden dude. He wasn't a Puritan. A Vonnegut check. Player 2. That is correct. Where do we begin, player 2? Has a gem of a brother. Atticus, Atticus. Sweet home, Alabama. It's player 2. Good for you. Player 2, choose again. This large bee of the genus Bombus can range from Tierra del Fuego in South America to far beyond the Arctic Circle. It's player 3. Yes. Where do we begin? Here's Sarah from our Clue Crew with the clue.
Polar bears are well equipped for Arctic weather. Not only do they have thick fur and a layer of insulating fat, but their skin is this color, which helps it absorb the sun's rays.
It's player 2. That's correct. Okay, let's get back. Alaska pipelines were constructed so as to allow this Arctic deer unimpeded passage to feeding grounds. Player 2.
Woo!
Yes. Player 2. Greenland right whales have the longest of these thin plates of any whale. They may reach 13 feet. Let's hear it, player 3. That's correct. Here's the $2,000 clue. As fall turns to winter, the Arctic this, A. lagopus, produces less pigment and changes from brown to white. Let's hear it, player 3. Yes. You all move on to Final Jeopardy, which will continue after these messages. Here's today's Final Jeopardy category. Championship sports. So, what's your wager? And the last clue? In 2007, this university became the first to hold national titles in both football and basketball in the same year. What did you say? With that correct response, you will gain. Did you come up with the correct response? How much do you add to your total with that correct response? Did you come up with the correct response? And that correct response will add... Player 1, congratulations to you. We'll see you next time.